Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you another video. All right, so you know me, man. Random mind. I'm thinking about basketball tonight, and I have a certain player on my mind because I know he was just waived, and it's like a running joke. His name is Jarrett Culver, and I looked online. I was looking at all the information in regards to him being waived, and essentially in the comment section, kids were saying he's got to learn different languages. He's got to learn this. He's got to learn that. And my thing is, okay, when was he drafted? 2019, right? Right before the bubble. Okay. What was his number draft on there? What was he? Ninth pick, right? To what team? The Minnesota Timberwolves. Okay. Now, the Minnesota Timberwolves could not showcase him. Why? Because he cannot shoot. He could not shoot. That's the only problem. It's a big problem. It's a horrible problem because he's a shooting guard. And he showcases as a player who wants to attempt them and do all kinds of different things that would really showcase offensive talent. But for his career, he's shooting like 28%, so it's kind of scaring people away. He had a couple stints with Memphis. Well, one stint with Memphis, one stint with the Hawks, short stint just now. I think he played with the Knicks for a half a second or something of that nature, but he hasn't been able to stick. It's only been a couple years. Now, here's the thing, though. When he was drafted, it was understood he couldn't shoot. That was not a thing. The thing about it was he was going to need a lot of offensive coaching, shooting coaching help, just like Alonzo Ball, just like a lot of other guys who come in with a shot that isn't all that great. Um, and then from there, once that comes together, he would be able to showcase ultimately what his game is, which is a transition guy who can get offensive rebounds, steals, and a guy who's very, very electrifying, slashing at the rim. Really, really wiggly, wiry kind of guy. Kind of reminds me of Corey Brewer, slashing at the rim. Um, there's a few other guys that just kind of comes to mind, but their names are popping off. But he does a lot of spin moves, layups, that quick spin moves, really, really quick layup moves, fantastic hands, and where he really pops off is in passing lanes. When it's time to get steals, that brother is going to be the guy that gets his hand on that ball, those errant passes, and it's gone. Transition in. He's one of the best transition players um, that is not known about. Honestly, he's really, really good. I watched about 22 minutes of his rookie season highlights, and when his confidence is on, he can do a lot of things for you, including shoot the ball. He had a couple games where he actually hit 4 threes, something like that. He's a guy who doesn't understand shot selection just yet, but it's still early. And that's the thing, it's still early. I'm the guy that would have brought in Bol 3 years ago. I'm the guy who would have brought in Markelle Fultz as soon as we understood that his shoulder situation wasn't as bad as they thought it was. I'm the guy who would have done a lot of things. I don't know. I'm just telling you, like, in other words, I'm the person to tell you to go low in terms of buy low on talent. If a guy is struggling or if it looks like he's almost out of the league, but you know he was a lottery pick, grab him and make sure you lay eyes on him before you label him a bust. Because you do not want to be the guy that passes on players that turn into something special. It happens all the time where teams misevaluate talent, and then other teams will trust that misevaluation and continue the process of not allowing the kid to get an opportunity. Now, granted, Jarrett Culver's going to want to take shots and he's going to brick them, but there are a lot of players in this league that have that issue. I'm not going to name them out, but if they can help you in other areas, or if they can learn 3-point discipline, which comes with coaching and a competitiveness and desire to win, then you can hone in on that percentage in terms of the 3-point percentage. He can raise his 3-point percentage if he just learns how to take better shots. Now, what I learned was he's a good set shot shooter from straight away. He can hit that. He has some angle shots too, so long as they're set. You get him a pass to his chest, and he might be able to knock it down here and there. But you don't want him taking that because percentage-wise, he's no good. But if they leave him back there, it's not like he's incapable. It's not like he's not going to be able to get streaky. And I've seen guys like Marcus Smart who were just like this dude. Couldn't shoot a lick. And then there'd be the game where they hit 6 or 7 in a row because you left him back there. He's just like that. He just doesn't have the Marcus Smart opportunity. But he's definitely a Marcus Smart type of player. minus the passing ability. I don't think he really passes like that, so I'm not going to say he's a point guard-ish guy. But defensively, I want him on the guys because he's wiry in the sense that he can keep up with fast players. He has length. He can keep up with good shooting guards. And like I said, if they do anything with him in terms of you try dribbling around him too funny, he's going to get it. You try passing in front of him too, the wrong way, it's going the other way. And what I really like about this kid is he reminds me of a guy that the Lakers have in a way, Max Christie, who finds himself being very wiry and athletic and can go after offensive rebounds. That's another thing that Jarrett Culver, you can definitely count on him doing. Miss a brick, if there's a brick layup around him, he's going to be the guy that's going to be quickest to the ball. Very, very explosive, very dynamic, wiry player. And that's the thing. That explosiveness is why he was drafted number 9th overall. It's not just that he can do certain things defensively. It's that his first step is super fast when his conditioning is right. Now, I've been watching him, some other highlights from him as of late. His conditioning is not where it needs to be, and his confidence is not where it needs to be. Last I saw some highlights, he was taking bad shots, kind of all over the place with his jump shot, looked completely broken. The confidence was shot, just completely shot. But if you look at highlights from him just 20 months prior to that, his confidence was high and he was flying all over the floor, doing things on both sides of the floor, looking like the lottery pick that he was drafted to be. So you watch the 22 minutes that I saw and you realize it's only been 2 years ago, and you understand it takes about 5 years for players to develop, then you understand why Jarrett Culver needs to be on somebody's roster. Now, in my mind, you do not bring him in expecting him to be able to hit any jumpers or do anything for you offensively. He's Tony Allen until further notice. But that is exactly what you bring him in to be, a defensive player. And this is what I tell people. If a guy can't shoot that well, but he can do everything else, then he's not a bad player. You just need to find some way to use what it is that he does. And so that's what I think of Jarrett Culver. He's been evaluated as a traditional shooting guard. Everybody wants you to be Anthony Edwards, Jaylen Brown, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. But not everybody's like that. Some guys are like Tony Allen. Some guys are like Ben Simmons. Some guys are like, you know what I mean? And they happen to be shooting guards. And maybe they're not power forwards like a Draymond Green. But you need these players down there because they're going to be the ones that can help stop some of these other guys who are going to be dancing all over you. You put Max Christie and Jarrett Culver on the floor at the same time, you can get a lot of stops. You understand what I'm saying? You put him on the floor with guys who can be wiry like him, but who can shoot the ball a lot better than him, and you let him get enough reps with those second units, because I'm obviously not starting him with him shooting this bad, but let him get enough reps with a second unit, you're going to find that he's a hell of a dynamic player in defensive lineups. You're going to find out he's a hell of an offensive player driving at the rim. So these are things that I already know he can do. Now, I haven't done a whole lot of homework on a lot of other players of his caliber, G League guys, so I don't know how he compares to other dudes. I'm not here to tell you that you should take him over the next guy. I don't know that at all. All I'm saying is what I saw from him was enough to make me understand that he can help my squad, the Lakers. He can help us. And the thing about us is we need shooting. So a lot of people would be deterred by bringing in another player like that. But for me, it's like the Lakers have a certain identity. And that identity this season is that of a team that doesn't take three-point shots very much. So while you don't want to bring in a non-three-point shooting player, if the player that you bring in has three-point shooting discipline and can help us with all the things that we're already doing a lot, then he fits with what we're doing. So I don't know if I'm looking at that the wrong way. Obviously, you don't want to bring in somebody who's going to be jacking up three-point shots when you're the worst three-point shooting team in the league. That's a mistake. But what I see down there is another Max Christie, another Austin Reeves, another guy who we can throw on our floor who's going to do those same things that those guys do. Another wiry wing defender. And that's the thing about Jarrett Culver, which is why this is so important. He's a wing defender. We're looking for wings, right? There's the 9th pick in the draft 3 years ago. He's a wing. And he just got waived because everybody thinks he's trash because he can't hit a three-point shot in the three-point era. The three-point era is highly, highly overrated. Highly overrated. When you consider what we've done with Russell Westbrook. This guy don't shoot no worse than Russell Westbrook. He don't. He's a lot, and he can do some of the things that Russell does in intentionally driving at the rim when his conditioning is on point. You know what I'm saying? He's explosive. I'm not saying that he jumps out the gym like Westbrook. Nobody does. Well, Ja did. If you saw the dunk I saw tonight. Jesus. Anyway, the point is, You need to have a player like this in your lineup with the intention of having him do what he does, not stuff that players who look like him often do. It's just like I said about Max Christie. Just because he looked like Kobe don't mean I want him even thinking like that. I want him focusing on rebounding, defense, and hitting his threes. And if I'm bringing in Jarrett Culver, rebounding, defense, and that's it. You drive at the rim and you hit your layups, you dunk the ball. That's it. I don't want you shooting no jump shots, no mid-range shots, no floaters, none of that. All of that look broken to me. But if he comes in and he's got that wiry intent on getting to the rim, constantly driving in the passing lanes, or rather getting in the passing lanes and getting steals and being intentional on getting offensive rebounds, he will rekindle his career. But he has to be focused, and his coach has to be focused and intent on putting him in lineups where he can do that, surrounded by people who can actually help him with the things that he doesn't do, shoot the ball and stuff like that. But what I've been watching with the Lakers is us leaning on a player like Patrick Beverley, and what I'm telling you, you could have gave Jarrett Culver every single minute you got from Patrick Beverley, and you would have had the same shooting percentage, because Patrick ain't hit a three for like 7-8 games straight before the start of the season. And this kid would have tracked everybody that Patrick's tracking, obviously not as well, but you would understand that you would be able to get his value up, because with more reps for a player like this, the better he's going to get. Yeah, he's not very good right now, but it's a confidence thing, because he was the 9th pick in the draft 2 years ago. So if he just remembers who he is, get in that kind of shape, and starts doing the things that he's good at, he's going to start popping off the screen. Because I'm telling you right now, he's going to drive at the rim and lay the ball up faster than most. It's explosiveness, man. He has a natural athleticism that will not be denied. And if you put him down there in the G League long enough, he's going to start putting up crazy numbers like the rest of these super athletes in the G League who are down there eating these teams up, because they're not supposed to be down there, man. Those G League players are not supposed to be down there. And Jarrett Culver is another one who probably shouldn't be down there. You know, this 3-point era, spacing era, has people evaluating players a certain way, and I'm telling you, it ain't got nothing to do with whether or not they can be highly effective on the basketball floor. It doesn't. It just has to do with whether or not they fit in these schemes that these guys are trapped in with this stupid era. I'm not with it, because what I see is a guy down there who can keep pace with a guy who may be faster than most of the people we got running around trying to guard right now. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm telling you. Give me athleticism, give me upside, give me youth, give me explosiveness, give me dynamic play. You know, dynamic play. That's what I saw from Jarrett Culver for a good 22 minutes. The dude just continued to be wiry. Rebounds, dunks, layups, passing lanes, the other way, transition. And then the three would come as he continued to see the defense turn to offense for him. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what the Lakers are. We're defense to offense all day. Anything in transition is good for us. You know, it's when we start shooting threes and doing the stuff that he's bad at that we get in trouble. So it's like, I don't know. Like I said, if I'm looking at this the wrong way and we need to bring in more shooting, God bless you. I agree with everybody. Let's remedy the problem. But if you have a certain identity and a guy has that identity too, then it doesn't really hurt to bring him to your situation and see what he can do. Especially since we're trying other players that really don't have any value. What I see is a lottery pick on whose value's on the ground. You give me him for 3-4 years, even if he can't do nothing, I'm going to get the most out of him over time. Trust you me. He's 24 years old? By the time he's 29, I'm going to have him be a role player for sure. So it's one of them type of situations where it's like, just bring him in, see what he can do. It's not going to get he ain't going to shoot no worse than 22% from the three, which means you don't want him shooting the three at all. So that's no big deal, man. I'm telling you, I don't need a dude to shoot the three. I need him to be able to stop the dude who can shoot the three. That's what I need him to do. Honest to God. This spacing crap is overrated. Just be savvy and intelligent enough and long enough to stop these dudes who only want to shoot threes. And then in transition, be quicker and faster than them. That's what Jarrett Culver is. BDL 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.